Hello guys, and welcome to a new Still Division 2 video today by myself, Vulcan, and Attack Power.
Woo! SDL League!
In this video we have you game 3 of a best of 3 between Onord and Luna in the semi-final of the final Still Division League. Today they are playing on Sciedlce, and on our left in the red team we have Onord playing with the 97th Guards with the Maverick deployment type, and on our right in the blue team playing on the Axis side we have Luna using the 91st Luftlande and the balanced deployment type. Very surprising division there. What do you have to say about these ones?
I'm going to say something every time you say final SDL season until you stop spreading that horrible news.
It is the last, okay? I'm sorry.
Lies. I believe it's still fake news in my heart. So 97th, a very solid division. Not the top of the Soviet food chain anymore as it was in times past, but still a very strong division. Well suited for Sciedlce. It's got good CQC, solid infantry, big tanks to cover the open ground. It is lacking in some 2K HE, but outside of that, it does all the things you need it to do for this map and is a reasonable choice in many situations. 91st Luftlande is a hot pile of garbage, so I'm not 100% sure why Luna's chosen this, although he has a history of choosing very niche, and I'm using the word niche generously, very out there divisions. 91st Luftlande looks good on paper, but when you start picking apart all its many weaknesses, like lack of light armor, bad AA, iffy to bad arty, not great support tab, then all of a sudden you find the many weaknesses that this division does have. The one thing it does well, infantry are strong. Your AT tab is also relatively strong, but lacking in light AT. Outside of that, though, this division plays worse than it looks by a wide margin.
Alrighty, well, let's see what it's consisting of at the start of the game here. We'll start at the top right with Luna's forces. We got the Flammenwerfer, a Pak 41 Gerlich. We got the Fusilier, the Luftlande Schützen, and the Panzer B2 Führer. Further down, the Flammenwerfer, the Pak 41 Fusilier, Fallschirmjäger, and the artillery, the 105. We've got Fallschirmpanzer Abwehr, Luftlande Schützen, Fusilier IG, Flammenwerfer, and on the bottom side, also infantry, Luftlande Schützen, Fallschirmjäger ZF, which are the MG snipers, and then the Panzer Abwehr, another artillery. We've got the Sturm Pioneers there as well with another Pak 41 Gerlich. So looking for those AT snipes early on. Over for Onord, we have the Maxim on the top side with the Flamer, another Maxim heading to the top with 2 guards. Then for the mid, 2 flamers with a sniper, Sappery, guards, M17. We've got the 122mm M30, which most likely will be used as 2,000 meter range fire support, and a T-34-85 leader there. We've got some flamers going to be heading into the town with the Avtos. On the bottom side, it's going to be double Maxim, OB-25, and 4 squads of guards DP.
Yeah, it should be interesting. I mean, Luna going for a pretty balanced deployment here. Literally, he's got balanced income. And, like, in terms of his spread around the map, the Russians are basically always going to beat you to the front line. So, kind of odd to see him trying to push so far early here. We see down south a lot of these infantry getting caught out. Sturm Pioneers going for broke. Are they going to get through? Looks like they might.
Yeah, the Maxims are targeting the infantry and not the transports, so they are managing to sneak through there. They're finally going to start targeting the transports, but as they reach cover, so that's not so bad. Interesting to see both sides have opted to use their artillery as direct fire support, the 105 here being used to take out the OB. IL-2 coming in early on already for the 50-kilogram bomb is going to pin down all of those Sturm Pioneers, but nothing quite there to surrender them.
I mean, the Geb 105 is doing some serious work down south. I mean, that is actually quite impressive. M17 in the middle goes down to the IG-18 heat shell. What a pickup there.
Yeah, they've also already taken out the 2 flamer squads that were attacking that hill. The Fusilier made short work of those. 122 is trying to help finish off the IG-18, and the Sappery there gets its machine gun on target to finish the job. In the town, the flamers are going to win with the Avtos against the Axis Flamers. Focke-Wulf 190 coming in for the strafing run, trying to shut down that 122 early on. That strafing run did barely any damage though, surprisingly.
Yeah, this Focke-Wulf variant should do a pretty good amount of damage on the strafe, so it's kind of surprising. But the center here collapsing for Luna. I mean, there's nothing here. It's all gone.
Yep, and already a 16-8 for Onord, which is quite substantial. 105's trying to get some indirect fire now against where the maximum was. And the Stern Pioneers, now they've recovered from their fallback, are going to try and clean out these guards at close range. They will be backed up by the Luftlande Sciedlce and the Fallschirmjäger ZF, which are both not that great at close range, but the extra numbers might help just clean that up quite quickly.
Yeah, I mean, and the weird thing is Luna does not appear to be that concerned about his giant salient in the middle, sending only a Panzer Abwehr, which still doesn't hold the line, into the middle. It seems a little shocking. He seems way more concerned with the south, trying to grab some of this ground as the Sturm Pioneers are getting absolutely wrecked in the Yellow Forest.
Yeah, that was a really, really poorly timed engagement there for Luna, as the Sturm Pioneers got caught out in the light cover whilst the guards were in heavy cover, and it allowed the guards to get some serious damage down. But now those guards going to be on the back foot, going to have to fall back to the Avtos. IL-2 coming in to pin those down might make a big difference here. When those guards turns around afterwards, that might be quite a lot of surrenders.
Oh.
Sturm Pioneers get the surrender on the guards though, but yeah, center Fallschirmjäger ZF finally coming in to prevent that salient.
Yeah, and the problem is they're just driving out into the center of the map and standing there to get shot by this 122 and this T-34. Getting absolutely shredded.
So, yeah, Fallschirmjäger ZF trying to hide behind the church now. They're still going to get hit by that artillery though. The 122 there just did so much damage to both those squads with that one shot. Now the Sturm Pioneers on the bottom with their 3 vet actually managing to push these guards out completely. So nicely done there, and that will secure potentially a second flag if he has the Fallschirmjäger ZF come up to cover them in the open. But this 18-6 is not a good look, and yeah,
No.
As you mentioned, there wasn't really an urgency to stop this huge salient that has occurred in the center of the map, and Onord's just kind of setting up there. The M17 being used very aggressively to attack this infantry, because that Fallschirmjäger ZF that it's driving towards doesn't have any AT, so we'll just be able to run them down. And this, yeah, this bottom
honestly,
side push is only getting 1 flag.
Yeah, and honestly, that's what the M17's for. It's a terrible AA piece, but it like insta pins infantry because it's 450 cals. Yeah, I think Luna did not react with enough urgency to this center push, and now Onord's been able to absolutely establish himself here with a ton of 2K assets. He gets to be aggressive with these M17. Now the one in the center running down this Pack 40. Oh my god,
that is
gonna
brutal.
run down the These things are seriously like they are not for AA. They are for like gunning down ground troops, and they do. It's still 18-6, and like you lose very fast in 18-6. It doesn't feel like it's going that poorly, and then all of a sudden half your tickets are gone. You're like, what just happened?
Yeah, and the trouble is like the Fallschirmjäger ZF that just got torn up by that M17 are 35 points. Like they are cheaper than they used to be, but like,
They ain't
it's still
cheap.
expensive. Yeah.
Yeah, and the thing is too, like, I mean, Onord, especially in A phase, really dominates long range fights here in the center. Luna has no tools here in A phase for this, and this is part of the problem with 91st. You just don't have a good spread of tools. You can't fill every phase with the necessary stuff to win.
Yeah, and with the Pack 40 going down, it makes things so much harder. Like the Pack 41 Gerlich, it's okay, but it's only got 1,000 meter range, so it can't really reach out and touch that T-34-85 that's just going to keep sitting there. There's no long range support that's going to be dealing with the 122 anytime soon, so all of these infantry are just free to run out in the open, like the Avtos and the Flamers that were in the town just freely running towards the next flag. And
Yeah.
all the while, Luna's trying to focus on this bottom side, but not getting anything for it.
Yeah, the bottom side's not actually a very good push for the blue side. This flag is actually really hard to grab because the opponent can just hide in this forest next to it. Yeah, I feel like you have the way to win this map from the blue side is up north, capturing this hill, like the big hill. I'm talking like the big hill up north, covering all that off, and then you cut off the center reinforcement route, and you can easily win the game from there.
T-34-85 making short work of the B2. Luftlande Sciedlce actually getting pushed out by the guards now that have the heavy cover. So the VulcanHDGaming ZF there might struggle as well because the guards are in the heavy cover. 541 might be able to do some damage to the T-34-76, but it manages to get out of the way quickly enough. The Fallschirmpanzer Abwehr trying to move up and get the Panzerstreck on target, but are going to bump into the guard DP. So Onord holding them back for the time being.
Sciedlce actually snuck up and killed the M17, which, as stupid as that seems, actually might be a big deal to finally relieve some pressure there, but it's still a 18-6 with the Avtos now capturing another random back flag.
Yeah,
this is
and
not
the
going well.
Luftlande Sciedlce aren't really going to be able to fight those at close range. The Avtos will just rip them apart. And so I feel like already, you know, Luna's in such a bad position with no more like close range infantry, maybe no more infantry at all really to fight back because we're not seeing many more reinforcements on their way. Also, IL-2 there manages to get the bombing strike onto the Fallschirmpanzer Abwehr thanks to the PE2. So the T-34 is now free to push back onto all of this infantry that has no AT, and the Pak-41 Gerlich is just going to have a lot of work to do if it wants to support these squads.
Yeah, I mean, this is a disaster. I don't know how else to describe this. I really think Luna just went for the wrong part of the map. Like, his winning spot was up north, where he could kind of leverage his Stugs a little bit. And yeah, Luna throwing in the towel already. That was a disappointing game 3, to say the least.
Yeah, 8 minutes 59 seconds is all it took for Onord to win this semi-final. And I mean, the kills and losses aren't even that far off, but
not at all.
Like you say, it's just a matter of where those points were spent and where the units were. And Luna already running out of units, it seemed, by the end, or before the end of Phase A, really, just left them in such a bad spot. The T-34 just dominating the mid. The 105 surprisingly good on the bottom side, but just such an overcommitment there that just only gained 1 flag.
The division is just honestly really bad. And like Luna was a big player of 50-second signaling and stuff. I would honestly pick that over this. Like I legitimately would pick that division over 91st. It's got so many problems. It's so hard to make this division work in any way whatsoever. And we can see it here. I mean, every weakness was easily exploited by Onord, and then just a few strategic choices there by Luna just left him completely overwhelmed, and not even in like he got seriously out traded or out microed. It just like in a macro level was dominated.
Yeah, for sure. But at least we get to see Luna's prowess in the second game. Unfortunately, for that one, it just looked completely in Onord's favour. So Onord will be moving on to the final, and we'll find out who will be joining him in the next best of 3. But that is it for now. Is there anything else you wanted to add? Congrats
to Onord. Commiserations there to Luna. Thank you for the match as always, and thanks for the cast, Vulcan.
Yeah, it's been good to get back into this, and I'm looking forward to doing more. But that's all from us for now. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed the video. Thank you much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.